Hello everyone and welcome to episode 107 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel as it is Pride 41, Girl Power, our first show with women's MMA on it. Very exciting, very historic as, this should be quite an interesting show because, even though some of the betting lines might be closer than what they appear, with women's MMA it is a crapshoot. You really have mostly inexperienced fighters battling it out anytime you have that type of element involved. It can be pretty exciting and unique because most girls have probably really fought as far as like tough opponents. Maybe two or three at this point. Obviously, we're in the early days of women's MMA, so there's not that many people. And so I think it's going to be a pretty exciting show. As we also have a welterweight title matchup in the main event as well, which should be a lot of fun to see how that one plays out. As we have some 11 pieces of mail as we extended Rodrigo Hoos, we extended Pete Sell, Charles Bennett, Sean Pierce who left Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, we extended Josh Koscheck, we signed Ryan Bader after he did pretty well in rings so far. He was 2-0. Feel like that middleweight division, it's stacked. There's a lot of young talent, and I think he'll do just fine. We'll see how it goes as far as he goes. They extended Damian Maya. We signed Robbie Lawler back as Robbie Lawler 10-7. He just won in rings. He's been on a 3-fight win streak. He was the rings welterweight champion. Even though the first time around didn't go so well for him, I think this time, that hopefully it goes well for him and he gets at least a win in Pride. So he's still 26. He's young as hell. Happy to get him back. Michael Johnson, though, is going to be still be in rings as he's 1-1. He just lost in his last rings fight. They had to re-sign him. As I forgot to re-sign Alberto Crane here. Let's do that. Even though I was kind of waiting to see how he would do against Katsuya Inoue, though, was kind of the big thing there. But we'll sign him anyways. If he's bad, we just send him down the rings. It's just forgot to do that. And then Jens Pulver's left Greg Jackson's mixed martial arts. As for this show here, Pride 41, Girl Power courts the welterweight title match of Damian Maya, Luis Santos. Should be pretty exciting. Luis Santos has really been a savage so far in the welterweight division. It's got a tough test though in Damian Maya, who obviously technically sound, or on the ground wise, Luis Santos has shown that he's been able to finish fights standing. Should be pretty exciting. As for the women's fights tonight, Erin Tuffill versus Kelly Cabal Schmitz. Erica Montoya and Kiko Tamai, and then Julia Berzakova taking on Arlios Cohen, and then Satoko Shinashi versus Jessica Aguilera. Chris Cyborg taking on Vanessa Porto. Then Roxanne Modafferi taking on Shayna Baszler, which that's going to be a fun one, even though Roxanne's given up at least 20 pounds on her, which is pretty interesting. There's a couple of fights that it is like that, but most of these girls are fighting on 145, as Yoko Takahashi taking on Michelle Blood, and then our prelims are in an incredible prelim fight of Butterbean versus Gimbo Slice. I cannot wait for that one, and Alan goes to Stefan Bonner for the in the middleweight division as our prelims. But yeah, that Butterbean Gimbo Slice fight is tremendous. As for the main event, Damian Maya and Luis Santos. Santos looking to make his first defense of the Pride welterweight title. Santos is main eventing a Pride event for the third time. Santos has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Both are world-ranked middleweights, as Luis Santos number 1, Damian Maya 20th. As Luis Santos trains to shoot the box, Damian Maya has an overall record of 1-0 against other members of that team. Blurcat set picks all on Luis Santos. I think it's going to be kind of close. I think Damian Maya does have a fighting chance if they can take it to the ground. Maybe I'm just overestimating Damian Maya's ability and skill. But, I think as far as Luis Santos goes, here's a guy who's 6-2 in Pride FC. Lost in his debut to Kikuchi, which is crazy to think about because now he would destroy that man. I mean, he's beaten some of the best guys as far as George St. Pierre, Dennis Hallman, and John Alicio. Of course, the John Alicio win to become the new welterweight champion. It's interesting as far as where he's been. He's lost to guys like Tetsuji Kato in the past and Thiago Alves and Mike Pyle in the past, but he's really found his footing now and has gotten a lot of big-time wins. Even a guy like Jason Von Flue, who won with a body kick in 19 seconds at Pride 35 Kamikaze. He's really come onto his own, and I think it was someone that I never would have expected to be the welterweight champion, just for as how many tough guys there are in that division. But he's went through everybody, as far as the top guys as of right now. Maybe we'll do a rematch with Matt Hughes, but even then, I think he'd probably kill him. He'd obviously kill Akira Kikuchi. Maybe a Tetsuji Kato fight would be in the works there, and then Thiago Alves and Mike Pyle, I think, would kind of be the same thing. I don't know about Thiago Alves, though. Thiago Alves is a savage. But that should be, pretty exciting fight, though, as far as that goes. For Damian Maia, coming in 3-1 in Pride, I've seen that one loss comes against Lee Murray, when he was a part of the middleweight division still. And it's cool that he's also fought guys like Kiyoshi Tamura and Melvin Manhoef. And Nate Corey as well, who's beaten, and also, when he was a middleweight, he actually beaten Flavio Luis Mora. It's a pretty big win as far as in the middleweights go. He's beaten Matt Hughes in the past, someone that Luis Santos has not beaten, and it was last year when he beat Matt Hughes. And he's also beaten John Fitch with both those guys have beaten John Fitch. Should be interesting. Be very, very interesting there, as then our kind of main event as far as the women's division goes is Aaron Steele Toughhill taking on Kelly Machine Gun Cobalt Schmidt. Kelly's finished 4 of his last 5 opponents. So has Toughhill, as the 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. As Kelly's ranked second, rather, and Toughhill is ranked 8th. First time they have fought. As Aaron Toughhill, she's going to have a significant weight and height advantage, probably a reach advantage as well, which I'm surprised they haven't showed, because she is 5'10". She's got boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Now, you see that 25-0 record, and you'd be like, holy shit, this woman is done. But you see there, she's had, out of those 25 fights, 24 of them against local fighters. She's had 1 actual fight against a opponent, which was in Strikeforce, as it was Goko Tamai, and then that was a 50-45 unanimous decision. Just complete domination for 5 rounds. We'll see how she does here against Kelly Cobalt Schmidt, which she... Interesting enough, Kelly Cobalt Schmidt 5-2 on the Blurcat staff picks, which makes sense because Kelly Cobalt Schmidt has actually fought like actual opponents. As far as like she's beaten Roxanne Modafferi. She's lost in the trilogy to Rossi Sexton, which is interesting. But she's been on Smack Girl cards since August of 2002, which is pretty crazy. But she's been a former as far as. I want to say that's in the flyweight division. Yeah, just want to make sure. It's like, I'm pretty sure she's a flyweight. And, this should be a pretty exciting fight, though. Should be. Kelly Cobalt Schmidt's mixed martial artist background. We saw what Toughhill can do, but she's only faced, like, 1 actual opponent. So even though she's coming in 25-0, it's a very slanted 25-0, where she's beating up 24 tomato cans on her journey. But she's got a big-time test there to see who's actually going to be a part of like the actual tournament process to crown our first women's champion. It's Erica Montoya against Tama-chan Hyoko Tamayo, the woman who has faced Aaron Toughhill before. And you see she's got the favorite as far as the Blurcat staff picks over Erica Montoya. Of course, the 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Erica Montoya, known for her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, submitted 4 of his last 5 opponents, as Kiko's won 3 of her last 5 fights by decision. First time they have fought, as Erica Montoya is giving up a significant weight advantage, which I think is going to play into a part. But with Erica Montoya, she's got 1 lone backer in Mark J. She's 10-6. She actually has on a 3-fight winning streak. She's been a part of Smack Girl since 2003 as well. She's lost to the likes of Kelly Cobalt Schmitz, Roxanne Modafferi, Julia Berzakova, and also Vanessa Porto, as far as other women we're going to see on this card. It's going to be interesting. I mean, she's had pretty good fights throughout her entire career. 23 years old, and Kiko is 17-1. Her 1 loss, of course, against Aaron Toughhill. She's someone much like Toughhill, who's faced nothing but tomato cans for the most part. She did get a split decision win in Elite XC in March, which was really good. I mean, this should be a pretty fun fight, though. Should be. Both women do pretty well as far as, kickboxing, grappling, versus a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist in Erica Montoya. Should be an exciting fight, hopefully, as Julia Berzakova taking on Ramina Marlus going in, and then both have won majority of their fights. 4 out of the last 5, 3 out of the last 5 for Berzakova, as she is the 12th ranked woman in Pride of Sea, as going in is 16th. Going in as a one since February 2006, though, but she does have the advantage, the slight advantage of the Blurcat staff picks. I would be backing Julia on this one now. She is coming in 7-1 now. Another flyweight, only lost to Vanessa Porto. As far as she's beaten Erica Montoya in the past, like we kind of discussed earlier. But Conan, another 7-1 from the Netherlands, just lost to Cyborg at Elite XC, which was pretty fantastic. Got TK'd on the second. Coming in off a loss, even though that was over a year ago. Coming in fresh, though, even though she had a good solid from February 3 to February 6. Took some, wasn't able to get a lot of fights under her belt throughout that time once she'd been in the mod, because, just, I guess the European small shows weren't really running a lot of shows or anything for women, which sucks. But she's still 27, could get a lot more fights under her belt. As Satoko Shinashi taking on Jessica Aguilera, as two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, as Shinashi's ranked 3rd, and Jessica Aguilera is ranked 12th, as Jessica submitted 3 of her last 5 opponents. Shinashi, as she trains at Presto, which Aguilera has all record of 1-0 against other members of the team, as Shinashi has won 3 of her last 5 fights by decision. A 10-inch reach advantage, and she's not even the Blurcat staff picks favorites. That's insane. We saw what a reach advantage like that can do, even against someone who is an underdog. We saw that with the fight with Ice Cold Igor and Jerome Lee Banner. You have a striker's chance when you have that type of reachability over someone. Shinashi's coming in at 4'10", 11-0 though. She is a strawweight, primarily a strawweight competitor, as she has beaten some names in the past. Elise Ellis comes to mind, and also just as far as Megumi Sato, hasn't really had a lot of bad fights. Just fun, 31 years old. And then Jessica Aguilar, 6-3 though, not the greatest of records. I think she's got a handful though coming up here. But that 10-inch reach advantage should be something to be very much highly noted. I mean, depending on the betting lines there, that's not a bad underdog favorite when someone has that much of an advantage standing. We'll see if she can take him down to the ground, though. I mean, she definitely can do that, and in Shinashi. So we'll see if that's the game plan there. It's pretty exciting women's fight here, and Chris Cyborg and Vanessa Porto. Porto has submitted 3 of her last 5 opponents. She is the 4th-ranked woman in Pride of Sea. Cyborg's ranked 15th, which is crazy. She's going to have a significant weight advantage. They're both, obviously, everyone's making their fucking Pride of Sea debuts, so I felt like that hasn't been necessary to say, as Porto does have the Blurcat staff picks 5-2. Cyborg coming in 4-0, just beat Gina Carano in the second round, knocked out with a knee, hasn't had a bad fight yet. Probably won't hear with Vanessa Porto, as, got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, 8-0, both flyweight girls. Has beaten, Roxanne Modafferi has beaten Julia Berzakova in the past, has beaten Erica Montoya in the past. Will seem to rank pretty high as far as in this women's division goes, but you can't count out Cyborg. Cyborg just an absolute force, and I think she's going to be a force against Vanessa Porto, but that should be a pretty exciting fight. That fight, I'm very much looking forward to seeing in Roxanne Modafferi and the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. Of course, they were part of the same, tough class, as far as tough, I'm about to say tough enough, Jesus, as the first Ultimate Fighter class, as it's still tough, but it's had the wrong tough on the brain, as the Ultimate Fighter class, and were 2 women MMA pioneers. Shayna Baszler, even though she hasn't won since April of 2006, probably will be in a dominant fashion here tonight. She's got the significant weight advantage. She seems to be the better fighter on paper. She's submitted 3 of her last 5 fights. 3 of her last 5 opponents, rather, as Roxanne Modafferi, though, is a savage. 9-4 already. Is just coming in off a loss though against Rosie Sexton. She's lost to girls like Kelly Cabold Schmitz and Vanessa Porto. As someone who will have pretty good fights on our record as well. She's beaten Erica Montoya though in the past. We'll see. We will see. Obviously, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, but she is a tough ass woman, and will look to keep on coming as far as stand-up wise. Shayna Baszler, an American Kickboxing Academy person, which is interesting. Obviously, she's not really known for her kickboxing, more known for her wrestling and grappling. Coming in after losing to Yuki Kondo, so coming in off a loss, hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Didn't have any fights in 2007. Coming in 2008, towards the tail end of 2008, though, getting her first fight, and is looking to make a huge statement here, and looking to go on into the tournament. As then our final fight, our opener, or as I guess not really final fight we're going to talk about as far as on the main card, rather, is Yoko Takahashi taking on Michelle Ulode, as Michelle has finished all of her last 5 opponents. I'm assuming those have been local fighters coming in. Yeah, they are. So, not exactly sure how she's going to play it, as Muay Thai background, though, as Yoko Takahashi, one of the standard bearers of what women's MMA was in Japan. Was like the first ever like women's MMA fighter, Cobra Kai dojo, which is pretty awesome. She's as far as she's lost to Conan in the past and Kiko Tamai in the past. Her only one win over a person is you see there, Ashley Sanchez. She's 36, definitely part of the older side of the roster. Michelle has the Blurcast F pick, 7-0. We'll see how that one goes, as I can't wait. Butterbean versus Kimbo Slice. Butterbean's going to have a significant weight advantage. I would be surprised if this one goes to the ground. You have the king of the 5 rounds, the king of, as far as a legitimate, I personally think Butterbean is a legit Hall of Famer when it comes to boxing. What he could do as far as just the amount of knockouts and the amount of publicity he had, and as far as fights he garnered throughout his career, he is very much like, I would say, not like a first ballot or anything, but like a fringe Hall of Famer for sure. And Kimbo Slice, a man with kind of the same notoriety as far as kind of like pulp culture, like icons according to their sport, as far as like Butterbean, obviously very much, thanks to knocking out like guys like Johnny Knoxville on Jackass and stuff like that, and also just his style and how big he was and everything, being able to, also coming in WrestleMania 15 and knocking out Bart Gunn, stuff like that, where he is very much like that notoriety from the 90s and even kind of early 2000s as being like a boxing name. Kimbo Slice, of course, through street fights and garnering 2 men that are legendary figures in their own rights, battling. And now definitely, Butterbean does have the advantage, I think, in Eric Esch, but you never know with Kimbo Slice. Then our other prelim fight, they have fought once before in rings, as Alan goes versus the American Psycho, Stephan Bonner. Stephan Bonner's finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. He's got a significant weight advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage, which Alan Goes won the first time by an ass decision. Looks like it's not going to happen this time, though, according to the Blurcast stat picks. It's 6-1. There is one lone backer for Alan Goes and Harry. But yeah, Stephan Bonner has 3-2 in Pride FC. Beat Dario Matsuya, which is not the greatest of starts, but they lost to Mark Hughes and Ryan Jensen. Beat Chael Sonnen and his former Tough One alumnus in Alex Schoonover. We'll see how he does against Alan Goes. If he can get that win back, Alan Goes 37 towards the tail end. Has lost to guys like Ryan Jensen and Guy Metzger. It's crazy he's beaten Rampage Jackson not once but twice. But we'll see how he does. We'll see. We shall see. He's beaten him once before. Can he do it again? It's 12-9-3, 13-8. Chicago, Illinois, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. As 6'3", 205, 6', 205. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style for Alan Goes, mixed martial artist for Stephan Bonner. Greg Jackson's mixed martial arts. Burga Luta Livre there. Betting lines are pretty close, though. Minus 240, plus 190. Relatively close. We'll see how this goes as our referee, our ringside judges. They both weighed in at 205, but Stephan Bonner definitely fighting a little heavier now. As the opening bell goes, rather obviously ignores the offer to touch gloves as they started off. Bonner throws two quick punches, doesn't hit either of them though. That's going to give the opportunity to have go clinch up with him, trying to drag him down to the ground. Not happening though, as he doesn't budge and now has control of the grapple. Now looking to wrestle him down to the ground. That doesn't happen either. As Ghost blocks it now, looking again, suck him down into the guard. As yep, doesn't happen again. As they're just kind of fighting him for position here. And my God, Stephan Bonner can't get anything going, as they're just trying to grab each other to the ground. Just 3 minutes of this. Not great. Still trying to smother, or just smothering him now. Not happening. Trying to sweep him. A couple of punches to the body now. Still just smothering him, trying to pass guard. He counters the pass attempt. They find himself scrambling for position. As now Stephan Bonner being on his back pulling guard, losing out on the scramble. Now Goes trying to pass, and another scramble. Goes ends up in guard, as now he's trying to pass the guard, as he comfortably blocks the attempt, as he keeps Goes in guard. He's trying to sweep Goes, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt there, as Goes fires off a few punches. Pulls him in close with a couple of short punches to the side of the head. Does Stephan Bonner, now trying to pass the guard and gain better position. Again, Stephan Bonner just having the scramble attempt. Goes is up first and only to be grabbed and wrestled up against the ropes immediately. There's a nice short uppercut up against the ropes. And there's a sharp right hook, and there is a knockdown. What a sharp right hook out of the dirty boxing there from Stephan Bonner. Looking to finish the fight now. And he is getting pasted with some shots. The referee's going to step in, leap in, and stop that fight. What a huge knockout, though, for Stephan Bonner. I mean, it started off pretty boring. They just kept on jockeying for position. Once Stephan Bonner got up against the ropes, and just a huge hook that knocked him down. Finished the fight off with some more strikes. Great win for Stephan Bonner, getting that revenge win as he gets and makes it 14-8. 12-10-3 for Alan Goes, not the greatest of records. One more fight, and he's probably going down the rings. Stephan Bonner thinks I'm going to connect to Rick Jackson's Mixed Martial Arts, probably going to prepare for the fight, and his sponsor supporting financially. He says he's got all our respect for Alan Goes and praises his toughness. His Butterbean. Eric Esch, take it on Kimbo Slice. Boy, if you're talking about the gimmick fights of gimmick fights, it doesn't get more gimmicky than this in Butterbean and Kimbo Slice. Now, Kimbo Slice, a man who has got 0-0-1 no contest thanks to the loss against Hungman Choi. Hungman Choi failing his drug test. Boxing background, of course, from Eric Esch. Street fighting for Kimbo Slice. Jasper, Alabama, Miami, Florida. No teams for both guys. Minus 230 for Butterbean. Definitely, I would say he has the advantage. Unless Kimbo somehow takes him down. As our referee's going to stay out there. Ringside judges. He's got at least 30 pounds on Kimbo Slice, so that's going to be a significant advantage. As the fight begins, they touch gloves. They come together and engage. They doesn't connect to the right hand. Butterbean has a right hand that gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves. They come together and strike. As Kimbo misses the right hook and leaves him to be countered with a great right hook. They meet in the center. There is a counter, powerful right hand that lands clean, and he gets knocked out. Yeah, there's Butterbean getting a huge win. I believe that's his first win in Pride FC. Yep, going to make that 1-2. Beating Kimbo Slice is now going to be 0-1-1. 4-6 for Butterbean. Nothing more you're going to have asked for there as Butterbean thanks all of his sponsors. And he's really happy with the finish. Punching power is definitely one of his main weapons. Probably his only weapon, if we're going to be fair. On to the women now. As Yoko Takahashi taking on Michelle Ulud as a Thundercat. Ulud as 5-0, 22-2. Submission fighting, Muay Thai background. Minus 250 for Michelle. Plus 190 for Yoko Takahashi. I'm surprised they don't have a city for Michelle Ulud, but it's just California. As, I mean, this should be interesting. First ever women's fight. History being made. In our openers, Big John McCarthy is our referee, ringside judges, and we're underway. They come together and strike, but nothing really damaging happens. They move and engage. Takahashi slipping past the right hook and attacks the left jab at a big right hand that just misses. As there's two left jabs, but can't hit the right cross. There's a nice right hook from Michelle. They meet in the center. They strike. The stalemate as both fighters throw up and fail to land a hit. There's a right cross that's blocked from Takahashi. Michelle doesn't find the mark on the right hook. Both fighters move and engage as Ulud connects with the left hand. Takahashi's off target with a jab, but hits the right cross. As again, they stand and trade, nothing significant lands though. Both fighters meet in the center. There's a brief exchange of fire, but nothing really significant lands again. As there's a right cross blocked. Doesn't connect with the left jab, and also has a right hand absorb on the gloves. Standing and trading blows, but neither fighter can land anything damaging as they meet in the center again. As Takahashi counters with the right hand, a quick left jab and a right cross. As Takahashi's just doing a great job as far as countering goes. There's a left jab and a big right hand that just misses. They exchange a few strikes with nothing significant lands. A quick exchange of strikes doesn't lead to anything. Halfway point now. Both fighters moving to engage. Neither fighter lands a significant strike in the exchange, as Takahashi doesn't connect with the left jab, but also has a right hook blocked, or doesn't land the right hook, rather. As Michelle has the right hand blocked. They meet in the center. Left jab finds, but the right cross is blocked. Michelle hits the jab and misses the right hook. They come together and strike, as missing with the right cross. Here comes the counter from Takahashi with a good right hook. Michelle's already slowing down. That's not a great sign. As two combatants meet in the center, they start to strike. Takahashi's off target with the left jab, but also has the right hook off the mark. So Michelle going for the left jab, misses. Also has the right hand taken on the gloves. They meet in the center. Both fighters are throwing shots. Neither can land anything though. There's a jab that fails to land and a right cross that fails to land. Off target with the left jab, right hook blocked from Michelle. Can somebody land something? And there's the counter from Takahashi with the left jab, a solid right hand. Now Takahashi's given the first hit. She's starting to tire. They come together and trade leather. Neither have anything damaging though. The exchange strikes produce any damage. As moving forward constantly, Michelle is pressuring Takahashi. Two left hands on the counter. As Michelle connects the jab, but Takahashi avoids the big right. Minute left now. Both fighters step in to strike. As Takahashi misses the jab, also has the right hand absorbed on the gloves. As Michelle misses the left jab, also has the right hook misses. As they meet in the center again. As Michelle's off target with the right cross. What else to do? As Takahashi attacks with the left jab and a solid right hand. They meet in the center again. Another missing right hand. As here comes a right cross from Yoko Takahashi in and out the round. Obviously, all Yoko Takahashi doing a great job as far as counter striking. Hasn't been the most exciting of fights. We'll see what happens here in the second. They engage as Michelle falls for her feet. As there's a slipping past the right hook and attacks with the right hook of her own. As Michelle, a very tired Michelle Blood gets grabbed up, looking for a takedown. But Takahashi stops that takedown. As they're now using the wrestling to take control of the grapple. As wanting to take him down the ground, Takahashi attempts to drag her down to the guard. As she gets sucked into the guard. Looking to sweep. That's not happening though. Michelle now looking to take control of this, but the scramble already takes place. As, Yoko, again, managed to come out on top. It's crazy how much, even though she's been the underdog, she's completely dominated this entire fight. As, Michelle's tired as hell, looking to pass. As, she's right from half guard to mount. Yeah, this is all she wrote there. As she is just pounding away with some ground and pound. Maybe not. I'll be damned. As I thought for sure that was going to be it. Minute left, looking for an armbar though. As she rolls out of it, and now has a way of getting on top inside control. Holy shit. Let's see what Michelle can do here on top. Not a whole lot to end out the round. Final round here, as Yoko Takahashi's definitely winning this one unless she gets caught. As they engage here, as Michelle with the right cross that gets countered by Takahashi, who hits the jab, has a right hook that's stuck though. They meet in the center. Dodging the right hand, counterattacks with the left jab, a solid right hand though. Both fighters look spent though, at close range. They just fall into the clinch. Looking for the trip is Michelle. Yoko maintaining a good solid base. She's looking very tired as well. As Michelle again looking for the takedown. Not happening again. As they break apart. Back together now as Michelle missing the right hook and leaves herself open to be countered with a left hook. As they just fall back into a clinch. Michelle again looking for the takedown. That's not happening. I mean, Michelle might just tap out at this point just from sheer exhaustion. Looking for another takedown. She's got it this time, though. Let's see what happens here. Punching down. They're just taking on the gloves, trying to sweep. That's not happening, though. Looking to pass. Yoko Takahashi was ready for it. Looking for the scramble. Back to their feet. Michelle immediately gets driven up against the ropes. Goes for some dirty boxing, but Takahashi is aware of the danger and using a wrestling to prevent any damage from happening now. As again, just preventing that with some great wrestling. As, again, with the wrestling preventing any damage from happening. They separate now. 11 seconds left. Jab that doesn't connect with the right hand, though. And there's a sharp 1-2, finding a way past her opponent's guard to out the fight. First ever women's MMA fight. Bit of a bust there. Well, obviously, Yoko Takahashi's going to get the win. We'll see. That's rated decent at least. But yeah, just Michelle Ludd just was way over her head. She praised her team at Cobra Kai Dojos for her sponsors, and the fans became on supporter. Visibly delighted, Yoko Takahashi celebrating starting her Pride career with a win. So Roxanne Modafferi taking on the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. 9-4, 7-2, 27 years old, 5'7", 145, 25 years old, Roxanne Modafferi, Adams, Massachusetts, 5'6", 125, getting up at least 20 pounds. Betting lines are not that close. I think everyone's expecting a crush job from the stronger, bigger Shayna Baszler. You can't get out the heart of Roxanne Modafferi, the Happy Warrior, as, again, our referee staying out there as our judges. Or no, Big John McCarthy's the opener fight. Never mind, he's back out there. As here we go, as seeing our opponent about to time in to shoot. Modafferi timed it well and starts the clinch. Looking to suck her down to the guard. But there's a great counter and a violent slam from Shayna Baszler. Looking to get some type of ground control. Almost sneaks around, but Modafferi ultimately holds her in guard. Trying to pound away, but none of the blows landing any degree of power. Using her leg strength to push Shayna Baszler back. Looking for a scramble now. But, Shayna Baszler's just going to seize that opportunity as Roxanne Modafferi, a little too slow, gets caught in side control. Looking for Kimura. Stops that from being applied. Trying to pull guard. Not happening, though. Looking to catch her breath down. Throws a couple punches to the body. As she's just looking to keep control at this point now. Trying to get the mount. Keeps her in side control. Roxanne Modafferi doing a great job keeping her still. As still trying to move the guard, but Shayna Baszler's not happening. As we're going to stand him back up. Baszler shooting in for the takedown. Gets stopped, pushing down on her hands and knees. Looking to throw a knee strike there, but Shayna Baszler scoots back quickly enough to springs back up to her feet. Get up close, start wrestling for a position. They get up close now. Looking to get some clinch. Looking for a slam now from, oh my god, another slam. As Modafferi gets planted on her back and now is inside control. Modafferi trying to transition the guard, not happening though. Shayna Baszler, she's got these slams, but is not able to do a whole lot. Modafferi is very much nullifying a lot of the action on the ground. Just trying to land shots at this point. Trying to move the guard, not happening. Trying to get the mount, and there's a scramble. As the scramble ends up in Baszler, grabbing Modafferi, shoving her up against the ropes, looking for a trip takedown, and it's another takedown. 3 for 3 on takedowns, left up on a turtled up Roxanne Modafferi. Pounding away with strikes, Modafferi calmly deals with them, looking for a scramble. As now Baszler's just going to grab her up against the ropes, look for another takedown, and she's got it. As 4 for 4 now on takedowns to end out the round. Obviously all Shayna Baszler there, as I think Modafferi didn't even land a single shot. No, she did not. Oh no, she's 3 for 4 on takedowns. I could have swore she was 4 for 4. What do I know? As, yeah, it's some boos there from the crowd. Not great. Not great at all. Let's see what happens in the second. And stepping in, Modafferi aggressively gets a down position in the clinch. They're going to grab an arm and try to pull it down to the guard. As that gets defended well, though. That big knee strike to the body. Looking for another takedown. Can Shayna Baszler finally finish it off? As, Modafferi attempts to get some separation, but she can't. Trying to get out of half guard. Can't get past half guard. So we're just going to be at a stalemate again this round. Scramble, though, as she's trying to get to side control. Baszler's up first, and she's quick to wrestle Modafferi against the ropes, looking for another takedown. Yeah, Modafferi just can't stop her. Throws a few right hands, man, just trying to catch her breath, punching down on Modafferi. They're easily taking on the gloves. Trying to move the guard. Baszler doesn't allow it. There's some elbows. Modafferi is in trouble with the strikes, though. And that is the end of the second. All Shayna Baszler again. Third round. Baszler looked like she was about to see a shot from Modafferi. Stepped in fast and clinched with her. It's Modafferi trying to suck her back into the guard. And there's another counter with a brilliant slam. Trying to secure ground position. Doesn't get any further than that, so we're just kind of stuck on guard. Trying to throw some elbows now. As loses her guard. She's trying to defend the elbows, so now Baszler's left standing in front of her. Looking to get some type of ground position as Baszler dives in, and Modafferi again pushes back to start the scramble. Again, she's back up first, so there comes the back control, looking for the takedown. No answer for it. And now she's got her, she's got back first, and then let's see, got both hooks in, looking for the rear naked choke, and she's got it. Yeah, once she got the hooks in, that's all she needed. And the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, is successful in her first fight in Pride FC. Is 9-5 for Roxanne Modafferi, 8-2 for Shayna Baszler. It's going to go on to the tournament. As Shayna Baszler thanks everyone connected to the American Kickboxing Academy for helping to prepare for the fight. Sponsors supporting her financially as well. Shayna Baszler says she's very happy to cap her Pride debut with a win as Cyborg. Chris Cyborg taking on Vanessa Porto. 4-0, 8-0. Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Both Brazilians. Both 5'6", both fighting at 145. I'm assuming Cyborg's probably going to be, or they both weighed in at 145. I'm assuming Cyborg's going to fight at around 155 if I had to guess. David Maya Jiu-Jitsu, Shooter Box, plus 220, minus 280. As, again, he's out here refereeing. Ringside judges. Is he out? That makes sense. Got a significant weight advantage now. Maybe even 165. I doubt it, though. I'm assuming 155. Fight begins. Takedown attempt from Porto. As she almost stops it. Just left hopping on one leg now. Pushes up against the ropes looking for the takedown attempt. That doesn't happen, though. Cyborg blocks it. Now she's got control. Looking to get on a Muay Thai clinch. Doesn't allow herself to be caught in the Muay Thai clinch. But now she's got it. And there's that big knee to the face. And there's a gash underneath the eye. What a knee strike there. Is trying to get out of it. And she blocks it and wrestles way out of it. That's a good job there from Vanessa Porto. Looks like a really good shot in, but Cyborg again took the initiative. As there's a left hand, but the falling kick to the body's poor. Now Porto catches it, looking for the takedown, and she's got it. Looking to pass, she's got it. Now she's looking to pass half guard to get even better position. Looking for it, side control, but Cyborg starts to scramble. Porto ends up in guard. A few right hands to the body, trying to pass again, and again with the scramble. As she's on her back pulling half guard, she loses out in the scramble. There's a few right hands to the body. Cyborg looking to again just throw some more punches. Just land shots and land shots. Trying to get from half guard to full guard, but Cyborg doesn't allow it. Cyborg not really trying to move here, just trying to keep control as the referee's going to stand her back up. Left jab, Porto avoids the big right, comes in for the takedown. Not happening either. Cyborg really showing her great takedown defense here. As she's just going to get pushed up against the ropes. As Cyborg works enough space to slip out back into the center, looking for another takedown. She's got that one now. The single leg, trying to pass guard and get better position. Can't get way past it, though. As so far, we've seen, really besides Yoko, when she was in control from the ground, really everybody else, it's been pretty much a stalemate on the ground, which is pretty interesting. As, the cut man's trying to work in between the rounds to patch up Vanessa Porto after the big knee to the face out of the Muay Thai clinch. That's an interesting round, though, as far as who won that one. I would probably edge it to Cyborg. I know Vanessa does have the takedowns. It did pretty well on the ground with the passes, but just the big knee strike. I think she landed more shots, did the most damage. In my opinion, I think she won that first round. So what happens to the second? As Vanessa Porto right out of the gate tries to go for the takedown, can't stop it. As trying to pass guard, only gets half guard though, trying to get her legs free out of half guard and loses control momentarily. Scramble begins. Cyborg scrambles to her feet. Porto immediately drives up against the ropes though, looking to wrap her arms around her opponent's legs and looking to try to take her down. Cyborg instead wrestles her way into controlling the grapple, looking again for that Muay Thai clinch. Can't quite get it, looking for it the second time. And she fights out of it again and escapes away from the ropes. It's a great job by Vanessa Porto to come out of that and go for the takedown. Not happening though, still remains standing though. Just got a leg up against the ropes here. Now looking for the takedown. It's got the takedown. Handful of punches. Each easily being blocked with gloves. Pounds with rights, fails anything significant though. Porto fires off a handful of punches. Each easily being blocked with gloves again. 60 seconds now. There's a few strikes without venom. Fires away with punches. Cyborg doesn't take any undue damage though. Pounds away with rights. Doesn't do much damage though. And at the end of the second. As that was all Vanessa Porto for sure. Great way to answer back. See what happens in the third. This should be interesting as Cyborg confidently comes in closer. Someone's going to lose their first fight as Cyborg throws a punch, but Porto avoids it. As can't connect the step strikes, there's a body kick though. There's a nice jab and a crunching right hook. Cyborg's starting to slow down a bit as Porto looks for the takedown. That isn't happening though. As now Porto just sells to push up against the ropes. Gets that takedown though off the ropes. Trying to pass guard inside control. Cyborg starts the scramble. But Cyborg somehow ends up underneath Porto north-south looking for an armbar. That would have been awesome. Cyborg defends it though and is able to break free and scramble. Scramble leaves Porto on her back pulling guard. That's great from Cyborg. This is a great third round. The Cyborg keeps extremely close to Porto. Peppering on short strikes looking for the arm. Cyborg doesn't allow the arm to be taken. And there is shoulder smashes to the face and upper chest of Vanessa Porto. Again, very aware of the submissions. Keeping very tight. Looking for the arm again. And she's got it. Wow. As that was incredible for Vanessa Porto. Probably was going to lose that fight if it went the distance. But got the bottom. Cyborg knew how dangerous she was. It probably would have been best if, after she was on top, just got out of there and just stood up with her. But was in a very dangerous spot, pulled the arm through, and got the win there. Huge win for Vanessa Porto. That was a pretty awesome fight. 4-1 for Cyborg, 9-0 for Vanessa Porto going on into the tournament. As yeah, that was crazy though. I mean, she took that big knee to the face right out of the gate in that Muay Thai clinch, and I thought for sure that was gonna knock her out, but thought Cyborg had it. Thought she did, but that was a great fight. As giving thanks for Vanessa Porto, praise her team at Shoot a Box and various sponsors, all the fans who came out support them, and again, visibly delighted to celebrate starting our Pride career with a win. Toko Shinashi taking on Jessica Aguilar, as Jessica and Shinashi as 4'10", 5'4", both 125, both in the straw weights. 11-0, 6-3, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mixed martial artist, minus 300 for Shinashi, and then Aguilar plus 230. We saw in the last fight, though, even with those betting lines, it's tough to determine who's really going to be a favorite because it's just hard to really determine who's fought who as far as actual opponents. But yeah, I mean, Satoko Shinashi definitely very, very skilled. This should be a pretty fun fight, though, as he's still out there. The ringside judges, as she gets a good reaction, does Shinashi as she enters the arena. She's fighting from her own crowd tonight. Underway is right out of the gate with a takedown attempt. Gets a hold of Aguilar, but she remains standing, hopping on the 1 foot, pushing him against the ropes. And Jessica Aguilar works enough space to slip out back into the center. As again, Shinashi just kind of rinse and repeat there, but she's not able to take her down. Now that she's got her against the ropes, looking to take her legs and grab both the legs there, and she is successful, and she's got the back. Oh boy, got both hooks in. That's all she wrote here. As, oh no, just looking to pound away with strikes. Oh, now look for the rear naked choke. Look at that, Jessica Aguilar hanging in there. Looking to break the hooks. They're too tight though. Still trying to go for the... I can't believe this. As Jessica Aguilar showing that she is a tough cookie to crack. As Shinashi keeps both hooks despite Aguilar desperately trying to pull them apart. Still trying to... I mean, just... Shinashi's just keeping control, but isn't trying to finish the fight now. As she's just pounding away with strikes. Still trying to break the hooks free. Can't do it. I'm hoping our referee stands them up. Definitely is not, though, as he, again, trying to attempt to pull some hooks free. Pounds away with rights, doesn't do much damage. Boy, not the greatest of fights to follow that last one we just had. Yep, just trying to do... that was just all the same thing. Would have loved to stand up there. So that sucks, as Shinashi wins that first round clearly, thanks to her being in control the entire fight. Yeah, that definitely should have been stood up. Shinashi's not going to be the most exciting fighter, it looks like, as she's, again, looking for the takedown. Partially defends it, ends up probably going foot. Looking to use her ropes to drive her up against the ropes there, as now she's got her, and she gets dragged down to the ropes. Pounds with some elbow strikes. Trying to catch Shinashi with a punch, but it's off target. There's a few strikes that outfit him, though. As, again, Jessica's doing a good job from the bottom to try to punch him, but nothing's really happening, though. Gets pushed back out of guard. Now is left standing above Jessica Aguilar. And she's watched in her way into the dominant position in the ground, but Aguilar quickly moves and scrambles for position before Shinashi can get a hold of her. And now Shinashi's just grabbing up against the ropes. Looking at, and she's secures a leg, now starting to hop on one leg, looking for the takedown, and she's got it. There's 3 quick elbows in quick succession, but doesn't do much damage, though. Moves from side control to north-south as a result from an attempted sweep. And again, trying to move to side control. Jessica Aguilar looking for the scramble, but ends up having to pull out. Wow, she loses out on the scramble. Let's see what Jessica Aguilar can do here. Now she's in control for about a minute here. Tries to transition the guard, but can't do it, as there's some small strikes. Clay just slowing things down. Again, trying to transition. Well, she couldn't do a whole lot. Final round here. And again, takedown attempt, and she's got it. Some elbows now. All blows are completely dealt with. Tries to catch Shinashi, but punches off target. There's a few punches that aren't within great force, though. Trying to pull Shinashi in close, peppering her with short strikes, but she can't. Look at the pass guard, gets side control. She passes and loses control momentarily. Scramble begins. Scramble leaves Aguilar on her back, pulling half guard, as there's fires off a few punches that aren't throwing the great force. Each easily being blocked with gloves now. trying to sweep from the bottom of half guard, but doesn't budge Shinashi, as now in half guard, Shinashi begins working to get side control, as now she gives up her back, as Aguilar ends up having to pull half guard, losing out in the scramble. Shinashi attempts to pass half guard and gain better position here. Passes the side control, doesn't have much time to secure the position, though. Another scramble. Manages to come out on top, though. Who would have guessed it? As, yeah, not the greatest of fights there. But Satoko Shinashi gets the win, and she's going on to the tournament. We'll see what her 4'10" ass is going to do. If she gets put with a girl like a Vanessa Porto, or even a Shayna Baszler, she will get fucking mauled, is my guess. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I am doubting her. But, I mean, a very impressive, dominating win, but just not the greatest of performances in a way. I'm surprised that was rated decent, as giving thanks to Toko Shinashi, praising her team at Press, a very responsive to the Hall of Fame to become a supporter, celebrating her debut win as Marlos Gonin taking on Julia Berzakova, as we'll see if Julia Berzakova can get the win, as Moscow, Russia, Netherlands, 145, 145, 5'9", 5'5", Sambo style, submission fighting, as was supposed to be. There was the duplicate fight camp, so that's just funny. By Red Devil Sport, because you can't like delete camps for some odd reason when the mod's going, so that's hilarious. So that was just fun. I was waiting for someone to have that, and I'd have to bring it up in the video, and finally we get it. Pretty close on the bragging lines, plus 100, minus 110 in Conan's favorite. This should be really, really good. We'll see. As Mario Saki's a referee, ringside judges, as even though they weighed in the same yesterday, Leos Conan is got a significant weight advantage now. And there we go, right out of the gates for the takedown attempt. It's a single leg. As she's trying to cut Berzakova with a slicing elbow, but misses, losing her control while defending the strike. So now Conan's left standing in front of her, as she doesn't allow Berzakova to lock her up with double underhooks, trying to come in and secure ground position. But Berzakova's too quick and slipping away, and they start to scramble, and they both end up standing. Boy, just back-to-back of people just going for takedowns. As she's doing a great job, though. So far, 2 for 2. But look at Berzakova bursting into life, trying to scramble. And that gives the opportunity to have Berzakova's too slow and gets caught in side control now. A few right hands, mainly trying to catch her breath. He's now trying to move into mount, but Berzakova rolls to the side, trying to escape the mount, but only succeeds in giving up her back instead. That's a terrible mistake there. Looking for the rear naked choke. Not happening. As he blocks, he's trying to roll over. Looking for it again. Probably not going to happen unless she got both hooks in. Looking for the body triangle. If she blocks that. And now looking for it again. Oh, but she's got it. No hooks needed. What a win. As Julia Berzakova falling short to Marlos Conan. As, it's rated decent. Interesting. I didn't think that would be so dominant, but so far we've seen that a lot so far in this card. How dominant people have been, as Marlos Conan gives a name check to everyone and cop to all of her sponsors and all of her friends, family, and supporters. Visibly delighted winning in our debut as Erica Montoya versus Tamachan Kiko Tamai as 5 and 6. Again, another one who's a part of a fucking duplicate. I just was tired at that point. Just put 4 to see if, but of course not. Azabiani Combat Club, kickboxing, grappling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, minus 110, minus 150. Very, very close to the bank lines. Even though she's given up at least 20 pounds in Erica Montoya, as far as if it's going to the ground, I think she does have the advantage. I think she's the better ground artist than Kiko Tamai, but just I just don't see her, as far as standing-wise, when it comes to the kickboxing. Definitely, Tamachan has the advantage. So ringside judges, in front of a home crowd. It's Tamai, unsurprised, it gets a loud ovation here. As the fight begins, they touch gloves, as there's a 2-punch combo. But Montoya avoids both of them, so far doing a pretty good job. And now Montoya clinches up with her, looking to complete the takedown, not getting taken down, looking for the sweep. Not doing it. I got it. Now, Tamai looking for the trip, and she's got it. And it's got side control, too. Trying to move the guard, but Tamai doesn't allow it. Looking for Kimura. Montoya blocks it. Does a few strikes without venom. Tries to move the guard, but Tamai doesn't allow it. Trying to pound on Montoya, but all the blows are completely dealt with. Blocks it, didn't pull guard. Looking to catch her breath now, as she's just content to throw a couple punches to the body. Trying to transition the guard, can't manage it though. No progress being made. They're going to stand her back up. 2 quick punches, doesn't hit either of them, though, and that's, again, Montoya giving her that chance to clinch up with her. Hasn't found a way to take her down, though. As Tamai, though, is doing a tremendous job of doing that. As it's an ugly one, but it's successful, nonetheless, so she ends up on top of a turtle up Erica Montoya, holding her in the loose face lock type hold. Preparing to throw a knee strike, but can't keep control, so Montoya is able to spring back up to her feet. So, obviously, Kiko Tamai, confidently coming in close. She knows she's much better striker, and she's able to take her down, too, as Kaganeko sub strikes and scores with a right cross, though. Left jab, and nothing but air on the big right. Angling the grapple now, looking to take the initiative. There's a left jab and a big right hand that misses. Fails to find home her jab, and then lands the right hand. Looking for it again, but this time with a right hook. As comes in looking to strike. Connects the jab and misses the vicious right hand. So again, Montoya looking to get him close, but Kiko Tamai aggressively took the initiative. There's a jab that lands, but her big right hand misses that follows up. Very tentative, pokes out a quick jab. As Tamai fails to find home on her jab, as she catches Montoya with a right hook, moves in and out of range, hoping to tempt her opponent at a reckless strike, leaving an opening that she needs, as there's a left jab, but her big right hand follows up, misses. A 1-2 from Tamai fails to land, as she lands a left hand and then the right hand. Minute left in the first, there's the left jab and a nice straight right hand, confidently moves in closer, there's a jab and a right hook, another jab, but now Montoya avoids the big right, didn't out the round. Obviously, Kiko Tamai is going to win that one. Complete domination. Erica Montoya is in deep, deep waters here. She moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. Can't hit the sub left jab, then there's catching her with the right hook. Left jab and a right cross. A few gulps of breath now. Tamai's given the first inch, she's starting to tire now. And there's failing to find home her jab, then lands the right hand. Connects with the jab, and Montoya avoids the big right. Quick punch doesn't land, though. Comes in and grabs Tamai into a clinch, looking for the trip. Doesn't work, though. Tamai blocks it and then takes control of the grapple. Halfway point, Tamai attempts to wrestle her into the ground. Erica Montoya cannot stop the takedown. Looking to catch her breath down. Just looking for a sweep on the bottom. That's not happening, though, either. A few right hands, trying to sweep now. Can't do it. 60 seconds. There's a few right hands to the body, trying to sweep now. Pounds away, but Montoya calmly deals with them. Trying to sweep from the bottom of half guard. Doesn't budge, though. And that's the end of the second. All Kiko Tamai again. Final round, as Tamai can't hit the sub left jab, but lands the right hand. As she moves in on Montoya, preparing to throw, there's a quick punch doesn't land, though. Can't connect the step, strikes, and hits her with a straight right. There's a left jab and nothing but air on the big right. A 1-2 that fails to land. There's a left hand and a nice straight right hand. Quick punch doesn't hit it, though. Seizing that chance, it grabs Tamai into a clinch, moving into the second half of the round now. Clenched up with her. Now Montoya's looking to try and take her down. As that gets blocked, and now she's got control. And she's got the takedown inside control, looking to catch her breath. As Tamai is just content to throw a couple punches to the body. Now takes the opportunity, manages to pull half guard. Those few right hands, she takes a moment to plan ahead now. Fires with some punches, does a little in the way of damage. Trying to sweep from the bottom, half guard, doesn't budge though. As pounds away with rights again, fails to land anything significant. To end out the fight, obviously Kiko Tamai is your winner by unanimous decision. Yeah. Not the greatest, I just feel like maybe it was the size advantage maybe at the end of the day there. Because the betting lines were very, very close, but it was just all Kiko Tamai. I mean, just not even close. Erica Montoya landed one shot, didn't have a single takedown, was completely outclassed there. As giving thanks, Kiko Tamai praises her team at Abiani Combat Club are very responsible of fans of Game of Sporter. As sharing respect, Kiko Tamai praising Montoya for his skill and toughness. As our final women's fight to see who will be the final woman joining the tournament to crown our first champion. As we have Aaron Tuffield, the 5'10", 145-pound Aaron Steele Tuffield, the undefeated fighter in boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, and a part of the AKA team, taking on Kelly Kelly Machine Gun Cabald Schmitz to be exact, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 5'6", 145, 10-2, mixed martial artist, Hinzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I think this is going to be a great cap to end off our first night as far as for girl power. Mario Saki's our referee, ringside judges. Tuffield, obviously, significantly bigger. I mean, even though they weighed in the same, I'm sure she's fighting at 155, too. Opening bell, they engage now, maybe even 165, being 5'10", as Tuffield opens Cabal Schmitz up with a feint, looking for a body kick that sails wide, then counters with a clean right hand, though, as Tuffield confidently comes in close, looking for the strikes now. There's a nice jab and a right hand. It's Tuffield doing a great job boxing so far, but Cabal Schmitz looks like she's trying to get some grappling started, but Tough Hill's just taking the initiative to her. Fails to find Oma's jab. Fails to find her jab, rather, but then hits Cabal Schmitz with her high right head kick. Connects with a jab, misses the right body kick, though. Closes in on her, looking to unleash some strikes. There's a nice jab, then catches her with a right hook to the body. Tefel uses the left jab, but Cabal Schmitz steps back to avoid the right to the body. Come together, and it's really tough. Nothing comes of it, though. Coming forward, steps into the pocket, showing little fear of Cabal Schmitz. Feints one way, leaves Cabal Schmitz slightly off balance, and there's a kick to the legs that fails in a combo. As a quick exchange of strikes, not producing any damage, though. Again, nothing really comes of it now. There's a nice jab at a straight right. Again, constantly trying to pressure Cabal Schmitz and exchanging strikes, manages a counter jab. Nice feint again, leaves her to be open. And there is a straight right to the jaw after the nice jab, and she gets knocked down. Quickly pouncing, looking to rain down on punches on the stunned Cabal Schmitz, and she is going to get finished off here. Mamasaki's going to pull her off of her and stops the fight. Erin Tuffill is she is one tough competitor in that women's division. The size advantage, the boxing advantage, she's going to be a problem for sure, especially with who's left. There's not a lot of girls, I think, that can outbox her, and that's going to be a problem for sure for a lot of those girls. We'll see what happens as far as once we crown our first ever women's champion in the tournament. So I'm not really sure exactly how the seeding's going to go, but Erin Tuffill gives a name check to everyone at AKA, all of her very responses, all of her friends, family, and supporters. She then asks who like she faced next, and she answers that Jennifer Howe would be someone she'd be interested in competing against. So our main event for the welterweight title, Damian Maia versus Luis Santos. 10-1, 17-7. As a 6'183", 6'183" for both guys. Both from Brazil. Damian Maia Jiu-Jitsu, obviously, for Damian Maia. Shoot a box for Luis Santos. Minus 340 for the champ. Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu background, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo background. I think this should be pretty exciting, though. I think it's going to be pretty close. I think it's a lot closer than the betting lines think of it as. Of course, for the Pride welterweight title, Mario Yamasaki. We only have 3 referees the entire fight card. So ringside judges, here we go. They touch gloves, started off. Santos throws a hook to the body, but Damian Maia steps back to avoid it. And now Damian Maia clinching up, looking for the judo throw. Doesn't happen, though. And now Santos blocks it, takes control of it, looking for the trip takedown. That gets stopped, too. Well, it's Damian Maia looking for another judo throw, and he's got it. Great inside leg trip. See Santos gets thrown to the mat. Let's see what Damian Maia does as he pulls his leg free, trying to get better position, gaining side control. Looking for a Darce choke. That would have been fucking insane if you finished him off with a Darce choke. Looking for the Americana. That gets blocked. Just riling off everything. Oh, he's got the Kimura. It's fully applied. Oh, but Santos managed to pull his arm free. Clearly had the hold in, but could have been a little bit tighter as the looks of it, as he's still in side control, though. Looking for another Darce choke. That gets blocked. Literally get mount now. Tries it, but it just rolls over, gives up his back instead. Is he looking for the both hooks in? Nope, just looking for the rear naked choke. Trying to roll him, but that's not happening. Looking for it again. Oh, yeah, he's got the body triangle. That's it. That is all she wrote. Damian Maia gets the win. You're winning 11-1. Easy money. Damian Maia is a fucking savage. And, here's Luis Santos. We thought he was going to go on a bit of a streak there. What a huge win, though. And I'm surprised I was only rated decent. Because, that was pretty insane for Damian Maia to get the judo takedown. Was trying everything. Americanas, Kimuras, Darce chokes. Finally, rolled over, gave up his back. Didn't even, was looking for everything, was throwing a little too much at him, probably should have just went for the body triangle, just to, be able to get that rear naked choke, but probably wore him out, though, at the same time. Great win for Damian Maia, and that's awesome. Damian Maia, for sure, is going to be a tough opponent for everybody in that welterweight division. Damian Maia, thanks everyone connected to Damian Maia Jiu-Jitsu for having him there for the fight. Sponsors supporting him financially and celebrating his Pride welterweight title win, calls it one of the greatest moments of his career. Pretty fun card, though. We had the awesome Vanessa Porto Cyborg fight. Shayna Baszler, Roxanne Modafferi was a lot of fun, too. Erin Tuffill and Kelly Schmitz was a lot of fun. Yeah, there's just a lot of fun stuff there. As we decreased our pop, which is interesting. I figured maybe because of not enough names on the card. As far as performance bonuses, Tuffill, I think, for her dominant performance. Same thing for Tamai there. And also, I think, Vanessa Portel. Even though it was 4-15 on the rankings, I just, I think, honestly, I think both girls deserve a performance bonus for the fantastic fight there. We're being very generous here. Oh, we still made $5 million, thanks to, mainly those girls made money off of those fighter bonuses. So it's great to see. Probably should have, as far as sponsors go, 200,000 made, almost the same amount of money from the gate than what we did from ads and subscriptions. So that's pretty awesome. Million as far as for fighter pay. We'll take it. We'll take it for sure. Thank you all for watching for the historic Pride 41 Girl Power show. As now we have kind of no more women's fights for a little bit. As I want to say, I think the next one, I don't think it's Shockwave. I want to say there is one coming up, though. I think it might be at Crowning of Champion, though, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, never mind. It is at Crowning of Champion, so it's not the greatest of opportunities to have a women's fight happen. Maybe there's, yeah, that's right. It is just women's fight. But the next fight is Brazilian Bushido 8, Silva versus Liddell 2, which, I mean, that's a pretty fun card. There's a lot of great fights on that card. I'm very, very excited to see how that one plays out. We'll see how the tournament ranks up for the Crowning of the Champion. Then we'll be on our way towards the end here. As thank you all, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.